joining us for our annual special education meet and greet. My name is Cindy Vidon. I am the Council of PTA SAGE Chair for the district. This is actually my 4th year, but not in a row, to be SAGE Chair for the district. I did it many years ago when my son was just starting at school here. My son started the first year ECS opened, and he's a 5th grader now. So, I know. And all my ECS people are here. Those are like my best friends in Frisco are my ECS people. We all started together, and our kids have all grown up. SAGE stands for Special and Gifted Education. It is under the PTA, the Council of PTA's umbrella. The reason a lot of people always ask why is SAGE Special and Gifted Education, that's because special education students have special needs, and students under gifted education also have special needs, and believe it or not, there's a whole lot of overlap there. I happen to have an older child that falls into that overlap. So I have an older one who is in gifted education that has a secondary diagnosis, and then I have a younger son who has autism. And I tell people all the time that we moved to this district because of what it had to offer for my younger son. I was a teacher in another state, and we looked for where did the grass grow greener, and it was right here. That's not to say that I think things are perfect all the time, but I certainly feel like that Frisco IC lives up to the motto of knowing children by name and need. I can walk into the administration building on a regular basis, and if I have on a name, well, I have on a name tag because they print out that thing for me, but when I'm wearing my name tag, inevitably someone will stop me and say, "You're Reagan's mom, aren't you?" And I'll say, "I don't know you, good work." And our last name is a little bit unique, so that's where that comes from. And they'll say, "Oh, I once," there's a flaw, it's all over me. "I once, observed Reagan for this or evaluated Reagan for that," or it's usually several years ago, but they still know him. I was just in the parking lot leaving, not leaving, I was moving my car. Sorry, it's homecoming week for my older son. And the nurse from ECS was leaving, and she's like, "How's Reagan doing?" I was like, "5th grade." And she was like, "Oh, I can't believe it's like he was this big yesterday." And people are always asking how he's doing, and so, as your kids go through this system, I hope that you have the same experience. People usually come to talk to me when they want information, or sometimes when they have a problem and they don't know the best way to approach it. And to be very clear, I do not work for the district. Even when I go into schools, people try to tell me to scan my badge. And I'm like, I wish I had one. Maybe one day I'll get one. But I do not work for the district. I'm a volunteer. And so a lot of times parents will come to me and say, "I'm having this problem. I don't know how best to approach it." And my best advice I always tell people is always start with your teacher. Go to your teacher. And Colleen and I were talking just a few weeks ago. Colleen, Kristen, and Kimberly are in-home parent trainers. We were talking a few weeks ago, and I was telling them about a post I saw on social media where a parent said, "I walked into kindergarten the first day of school, and I was asked to take something to my son's class, and this is what I saw." And I mean, everyone unloaded. "You need to call the district. You need to call this person. You need to call that person." I was like, talk to your child's teacher first, please. That comes from my experience in the classroom and knowing that there were plenty of things that I did wrong, but it was so awesome when a parent came to me and said, "Hey, I really have a problem with this. Let's see how we can fix it together." That was like the best and easiest way to fix things, and sometimes it taught me a little bit along the way too, rather than somebody having to come down on me and say, "You're doing it all wrong," which they don't do that, but as it turned out, she was upset because her son was sitting separately from everyone else. And he was sitting on a rolling chair, and his feet were dangling, and she's like, "He can't focus like that." And so when she went to the teacher said, "Actually, have alternative seating all over my classroom. And I already knew your son had sensory issues, so we allowed him to try out all the different seats in the class today to see, where was he most comfortable?" And that's the place he chose. So I was not isolating him. I was not separating him. He said, "I like it best over here because nobody can touch my stuff." And so that was his choice. But if you have a problem with that, I can adjust. And the mom was like, "No, that's not a problem. Carry on." And so, that's always my best advice to parents is start with your teacher, talk to your teacher, and go from there. So that's kind of who I am, is I'm just one of those people that people come to and ask, "Where do I go to for this, or where do I go to for that?" And obviously our in-home parent trainers are here, and they do that also. I can give you the parent perspective. And so one of the things that we do that's really big in our district every year is we do inclusion t-shirts. And I talk about them all year long because it is the biggest fundraiser that Council of PTAs has. But that money goes straight into programs that promote inclusion in our schools. And so the Parent Lending Library, we purchase things for the Parent Lending Library every year. We help host events like this. I had a request earlier this week from one of our adaptive PE teachers who said, we need, this is something that we could use, if this is something that you could cover. Yes, I don't think I say no very often, but we help with Best Buddies, we help with Partners PE, we help with the Diverse Abilities Days programs at your elementary schools, which is the best education component that we have for our students and for our teachers and for our parents, because those kids are very comfortable with special needs at a very early age. But better yet, they go home and they teach their parents to be comfortable, because you know what it's like to go meet that parent who's never met a parent who has a child with special needs, and sometimes they just don't understand. And this helps them understand in a way that they're comfortable with. Their child teaches them. If your school is not signed up to do the Diverse Abilities Day program this year, and it's an elementary campus, you can talk to us and let us know, and we can see what we can do to get that program at your school. So. I think that's really all I have to say. That was way more than I planned on saying. I just keep going. So who's
introduce Marsha?
Okay. Marsha Shannon is our Director of Special Education for Frisco ISD. Am I saying that all correctly? Okay. She's been with this district since my first round as SAGE Chair, so 5 years? 5 years, okay. I gave her a couple extra. 5 years. What I really like about Marsha is she really listens to parents. She comes up with ideas that I think, I don't know any other district that would do that. I know one of the programs you're doing next month, I think, is one that I thought, who does this? Oh wait, Frisco does, because they're cutting edge. So welcome to Marsha, and thank you.
I'm incredibly privileged and honored to be here tonight with you and to serve all of our children here in Frisco. That is what makes, I think we have the best job in the district, actually, because we get to serve over 5,000 students in Frisco with special needs. And we have an incredible team of people whose passion is about serving each of our students and making sure we're meeting their needs on a day-to-day basis. And so I'm really thrilled that you're here tonight, because I know that the partnership that we have with families is what helps us be successful at school. And so by you being here tonight lets me know that we have great partners in our community, and you help us know how to help your students best. So I thank you for taking the time out tonight to be with us. And what we're going to spend time doing is helping you know how we support campuses in serving all of our students and making sure that we're adjusting their services to meet their needs. So we're going to take some time and let you know how we support and guide campuses in special ed services, and then we're going to, some of our team members are going to share about what they do to support services, and then there's going to be community kind of representatives also that share how you can access different resources in the community to support your students as well. So we this year have added 2 members to our team, one of which is taking a graduate course, and she's there tonight. She's Casey Moss. She's our Assistant Director of our Elementary Services. Our secondary Assistant Director is Garrett Jackson. So those 2 positions are new to our SPED administrative team this year, and we're very fortunate to have that addition to our team to support our campuses in the service delivery. And then we have 6 coordinators 3 at each level. So there's 3 coordinators at the elementary level and 3 coordinators at the secondary level. And I'm going to let them all kind of introduce themselves as well. And then we have over 150 itinerant team members that travel across the district that conduct evaluations and provide direct service to students. So just a range of supports. And then on every campus, we have special ed services as well. So we have teachers and SLPs on every campus, and then depending on the needs of the students, there might be some specialized programs as well. But we're going to go through that pretty quickly. In your, I think you may have picked up a handout. We just kind of walk through this quickly. You'll kind of see what our mission is as a department. We fall under curriculum and instruction. So our mission is to support and guide high levels of learning for all of our students. And that is what our team's mission is to make sure that we're supporting that high level of learning for each and every one. You'll see our core purpose is to really empower each student to lead meaningful lives and purposeful lives. And then you'll see our team's collective commitments about how we work together. The next page in our handout just really describes the continuum of services in our district. So everything from mental ed to a more self-contained environment to all the related services that we provide. You'll see descriptions through that. I don't want to read it to you, but I want you to know that resources available to help you understand what's available in the district. And then what I think I'll do is let each one of our coordinators introduce themselves and share how they support campuses. And then our itinerant staff will also share their roles as well. So we should start with elementary. You want to start, Blake?
Hi, I'm Blake Lowell. I'm an elementary coordinator. I support, I guess, a third of the elementary campuses. And I'm also the support for SLC preschool which is structured learning classes, preschool through middle school. And then at the elementary level, our SDS, structured behavior support, and SAIL, which is social and interpersonal learning. And that's what I do.
Hi, I'm Becky Heron, and I'm also an elementary coordinator. I support actually this campus, the PCP programs, a third of the elementary campuses, and then active learning, which is classrooms from PBCD level all the way through high school, and the elementary life skills classrooms as well. And then it just has a random specialized services like homebound primary.
I'm Beth Fields. I support the remaining third of the elementary campuses. I'm also the coordinator contact for elementary resource, our functional academics classrooms at the elementary level. I'm also the coordinator contact for campus SLPs and also a supporter of our elementary instructional facilitator team.
I'm Amy Smith. I'm one of our secondary special education coordinators, and so I support 7 middle schools and 1 of our high schools. And in addition to that, I oversee or work with our evaluation team and diagnostician and school psychologist.
Good evening. I am Shannon, and I am the secondary special ed coordinator. I provide support to our access program, which is a program for students with significant cognitive disabilities at the high school level, as well as our FBS program and our SAIL program for students with autism and students with behavioral challenges. In addition to that, I am also the coordinator support for the behavior specialist team that supports the entire school district and the instructional facilitators at the secondary level.
Our third secondary coordinator coordinator wasn't able to be here tonight. Her name is DJ Lascaris, and she supports our secondary programs specifically related to transition services, including our 18-plus program. So Project Search, our community sites where we're really excited where our 18-plus students are learning to work at IKEA and at the administration building at Home Depot and NBC Suites. So we're very excited about those programs, but she supports primarily the secondary and the transition programs. If you go to our website, our contact information is all there, and you can see that broken down by elementary and secondary. So all of that's right there for you. What we do encourage, as Cindy talked about, is starting with your campus first. They know your student best. We work collaboratively with all of our campuses to ensure services are appropriate and meeting the students' needs, but we really, that's kind of your first place to go. We're always here to support campuses in those services, so please reach out if need be. I think, so we've covered our coordinator team. So Shannon, do you want to
Absolutely.
go next?
I'm Shannon Henderson. I'm the lead licensed specialist in school psychology, or you'll hear us referred to on the campus as LSSPs, where it's always a mixed match of letters. We got SLPs, LSSPs. So our role is working with the educational diagnosticians and the speech language pathologists to complete multidisciplinary team evaluation. So we kind of come in when we're looking at an autism evaluation or an evaluation for otherworld impairment for ADHD or an evaluation for emotional disturbance. We kind of get involved. The other hat we wear is we work with the campus teams on behavior. So we help kind of give some support to our general education student support teams, and we give suggestions for behavioral interventions and things like that. And then when the student is already receiving special education services, then we work usually together with like the behavior specialist to help come up with behavior interventions for those students that need them. And then our third hat we wear is providing related services. So we do some counseling and also just that consultation piece.
Katie Stallings is our lead speech pathologist.
Hi, I'm Katie Stallings, and as Marcia said, I'm the lead speech pathologist in the district. We currently have about 72 SLPs throughout the district, and we serve our students anywhere from 3 years old through the Beyond AP program. We work with other professionals to provide evaluations for anything from articulation to fluency, language, both receptive and expressive and pragmatic needs, as well as voice. And we provide the therapy at each campus for the students, and then we participate in all the meetings that, the art meetings that happen on the campuses as well.
And I'm one of the adopted PE teachers in the district. There's 4 of us, and I'm going to let Natalie talk in just a second. I'll talk about, are we talking about our program?
Yes.
Okay.
Not yet.
No. Okay. So I'm just one of the 4 adopted PE teachers in the district, and we help support campuses district-wide with their PE programs and getting our students in those PE programs and making sure that it's accessible to them, and that they're successful in those programs. So at the elementary level, our students are pushed into specials as much as possible. And then at the secondary level, our students have the opportunity to participate in partners PE as well as be in the general PE program.
You know what, you guys just talk about your programs. Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Roll with it.
So we, our level of service, we provide direct service and consultation service I would say at the elementary level, we provide more direct service than at the secondary level, because at the secondary level, we have our partners PE classes, so we do a lot more consulting with those general PE teachers. And the partners PE classes,
My name is Natalie McPhail, and I'm 1/4 of the adaptive PE team. So we each have about 15, 16, 17 campuses around the district. And like Kirsten said, we support to get our kids into a physical education that best suits them. I just wanted to touch base on the secondary level. We have partner PE programs. And so we go in and we consult with the PE teacher there on campus. We give them program ideas, training, any consultation they need for those kids to be successful. And then they do that with a peer partner that's on that campus. It's a really wonderful program because we see friendships form. It goes into the Best Buddies program, and then we do a lot of the Special Olympics events. So those peers actually get to go to the Special Olympics events. And we see that those peer partners become lifelong friends, and they see them on campus, and then they'll eat lunch with them, and we're just so proud of that program. And it's a great opportunity for some of our special needs kids at the secondary level. And we do have some kids who are special ed, and they go in to just a regular PE class at the secondary level as well, whichever best suits their needs, and we help just foster that, so that's a positive experience for them.
And I'll talk quickly about Special Olympics. So we also have 3 Special Olympics sporting events that we participate, or we have our students participate in. And to participate in Special Olympics, you have to be 8 years of age or older. So it is only accessible to those kiddos. But the events that we participate in would be bowling, basketball skills, and then track and field. And then with track and field, what we do is with our elementary students, because we have such a large group of students that participate in Special Olympics, with our elementary students, they participate in the track and field events at outside of district events, like we usually go to Little Elm or McKinney, but then with our secondary students, we host a track and field event that we put on, and all of our secondary students have the opportunity to go to that. And it's really nice because, like Natalie was saying, that's where all of our best buddies and our peer partners can come out, and they can be part of that event. And then we've got cheerleaders and football players and administration, and it is an amazing event because it just brings the whole school district together as a community, and it brings the outside community together with us as well. So it's a really special event. And Sage has done a great job partnering with us on all of these things. They've helped us out with trainings for the Partners PE, and they've done so much to support our track and field event. So we can't say thank you enough to Sage for how much they've supported us.
Hi, my name is Julie Mitchell. I'm an occupational therapist with the district.
And I'm Amanda McCartney. I'm also one of like 14 UTs, I believe, in the district.
Yeah, we're just a small representative of a pretty big motor team that consists of occupational therapists, physical therapists, and then of course our ABEs that you just met. We serve kiddos who are under that special education umbrella. They've already been identified as special education students, and then we might come in, be asked to come in and complete evaluations, recommend services, and then provide those services. So each one of us has a handful or handfuls of campuses that we go to, and it kind of looks different depending on the kiddo and depending on the setting that they're in. We might be working one-on-one with the kiddo, we might be working in the classroom, we might be consulting more with the teacher. It looks very different depending on the campus and the kiddo's needs.
In the morning and a couple in the evenings to make sure we open the door for parents, and we meet here to talk. It's an open format, so we don't talk specific kid issues, but we do talk about what's working and gain feedback from you about services in the district. So I invite you to come to those. Those will be announced on the Parent Trainers Facebook. And then in October, one of the things that Cindy mentioned is we're hosting Disability Rights of Texas. An attorney from Disability Rights of Texas will be coming and sharing information about guardianship and alternatives to guardianship called supported decision making. So they're going to come share information for parents. They're also going to be working with our transition specialists and our secondary diagnosticians so we can understand what some options are for families when the rights transfer to the student at 18. So that's coming on October 4th. Watch for that information as well. That'll be, I think, really helpful information for families when you start accessing that time in life where that transfers. Yes?
Can you repeat that, Mary Pam? Where is that at?
The link is on your handout. We have a Facebook page and a website, but we'll go through all that in a few minutes.
Any other kind of general questions for our team at this time?
Okay, that was a good segue.
Okay, come on up, guys. So there's 3 of us, and we're the in-home parent trainers for the district. I'm Colleen Kugler. I'm Kristen Foster.
Kimberly Goshi.
And we divide up the district, divide and conquer. So we have, we each have different parts of the district that we service, but we work really hard together and really well together. And we provide a ton of events and things like this. We work to coordinate for you guys to make sure that you're getting the help you need and you're getting the support you need throughout the district. So we're going to go through our website with you really quick. This is a great place to access. It is through the district website. It has our calendar of events on it. And it has, I'll go through each thing really quick with you, but you should be getting emails once a month with all of our events on it. So we send out every month, like we already sent the September one, it's going to all the teachers and the teachers should be forwarding them on to you. If you're not getting them, it may be because the teacher's leaving the little FWD. We heard that sends the email to your junk mail. So check your junk mail if you didn't get it. Or you can let your teacher know, hey, I didn't get the September email. I can't wait for those events. Let me, send it on to me. But every teacher should be getting them from us. So you have that way to get all of our information. We have a Facebook page, and the link to that is also on this handout. And we put tons of events on there almost every day. Kimberly is a great Facebook superstar, and she sees everything going on. And I don't know how she does it. So everything's being plugged on there. So when we find out about something, we just shoot it right on there so you guys get to know what's going on in the community. And plus our events are all on there. So it's a great resource to you. Just like it, and then you will get updates constantly. So we have our website, and what we're doing now is putting all of our group parent trainings on here. And as you can see, there's a video camera, and I'm trying to videotape everything, but all of our past 3 so far are on here. So if you missed a training and you really wanted to see it, you can just go on the website. It might not be the best quality, but you're going to get the information. So you just click on it and watch it. And then all of our past trainings are also on here. So you just click on it and you can get all the handouts from the training and get PowerPoints, everything that was shared is in there. So we have many years worth of group parent trainings on there. We do our group parent trainings once a month. Next month, we're very excited. We have a family panel, and actually Jim Wright, his family is going to be one of the families. And they're just going to be, our focus is building on children's strengths. So we're really, really excited. We hope you can make it. And each month we have a different topic. Another huge resource that we want you guys to know about and access and utilize is our Parent Sanctuary and Lending Library. So on your way out, just peek your head in. If you want to go in, it'll be open for a little bit after the meeting. And it's open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 9 and 2. We have parent volunteers there on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then on Fridays, We share time there. So you can have access to us by just coming in between 9 and 2 on a Friday. We can help you with visuals. We have a laminator in there. We can print stuff off. We have tons of things already prepared that we can show you. We're up to almost 1,000 items in there that you can check out for 2 weeks. We have sensory items, we have books, we have games, we have so many things in there with lots of help from SAGE and the Frisco Education Foundation and yard sales and donations. So if you have any old books or games or anything you don't want anymore, please send them to us and they will get used. It's so exciting to see how many things are going out and actually being used rather than sitting on shelves and getting dusty. So please come and see us in the lending library. We have all of our resources there. You can have any questions. You know, we make it positive. It's a very positive, peaceful place. And we just try to focus on the good things and have you leave the door with hope and a little happier than when you came in. So please come see us. This is the Beyond the Classroom program for kids that are in the active learning classrooms, and we have 2 videos on there of sessions that they did. Those are kids with significant disabilities, and if you'll know if your child is in an active learning program. But these videos are actually good for all parents. There's good information in there for teaching your children. SIB Shops. So this is a program we have in the district for the siblings of kids with special needs, 8 years old and up. And we've separated this year. We're excited because we're separating some of our workshops so that we can target the younger kids at some, and they're going to come here in the evenings at the ECS. And then we're targeting the teens, and we're going to things like Nerdvana and playing games and just letting them hang out and just be typical teens without their SIBs. And then we also have big group where everybody's together at Liberty High School on Saturdays, and we're together for 4 hours. We eat pizza, we play games, we talk about what it's like to have a sibling with special needs. If they want to talk, they do. If they don't, they don't. They listen to others. And we're really excited because we're partnering with Prosper. One of our teammates moved up to Prosper. Instead of saying goodbye with tears in our eyes, we decided to team up and make ourselves even stronger. So that's very exciting that our SIBs are going to get to know SIBs from Prosper. Teen Squad is a program that Kristen runs for teenagers with Asperger's, but right now they are so full. So if you're like, wait till next year. But they have a blast. They do really good things. So. Here's a section for the Diversibility Day. Cindy was talking about that. If you have questions about that, you can just email. We have a bunch of resources on here. I actually just emailed the dental resources out to a family today, but it's available on here. They're headed to the dentist this week and they're really afraid. So there's a whole print off, you just print it right off at home, and it has social stories on it and ideas and ways to help you with the dentist and the haircut. Frisco Summer Ideas, counseling services, on and on. Okay, this is the potty training section. Potty training is a hot topic for not only the ECS, but beyond. So instead of always emailing out things, we just put it all on here. So if you feel like potty training your child, the Fox and Azrin program totally works. It's amazing. Eventually there'll be a video of our potty talk training that we do twice a year. And so you look out for that in our events if you want to attend, and if you can't attend, we're going to be videotaping and it'll be on here. But the PowerPoint's on there and all the guidelines, all the information you need is on here. And then there's some extra bonus items on here, like man bathroom rules. Those are important. We have a big section of visuals, schedules, rules, and routines. You click on it, you print it, you use it. And if you have questions about how to use it, just let us know. Some of them are Word documents, so you could throw in your own pictures of your kids and just go with it. So easy now with cell phones. We have a bunch of sensory strategies on here, a bunch of social scripts, also known as social stories, and then future planning section with a few good videos on there. Start planning for the future yesterday. Part of the transition committee, so this is a very big focus for us, that everybody starts thinking about the future right now. Okay, so that's everything on our website. Please, like I said, the lending library, it's open. We're going to be opening it evenings now during group parent training. So if you're working during the day and you can't come, then come during one of our group parent trainings. I think that was it for us. Did I miss anything, guys?
Just the Facebook page, but.
Yeah, our Facebook page, we talked about that. Yep, links are on here. Tool time trainings are trainings we do during the day here at the ECS, but they're open to all kids in the district, just like our our lending library is open to all parents in the district. And we do topics like social skills, behavior. We just had our behavior training, potty training, and self-help, chores and responsibilities. That's one of my favorites. So they're all my favorites, actually. Okay, so any questions, just let us know. But we have a lot of other people to get to, so we're going to move on. Okay, next up, we have the Frisco Athletic Center. Alyssa Schneiderman is here to tell you about what they are doing, and David is also here. And we're really excited to partner up with the Frisco Athletic Center because it's really important that we get all our kids out and involved in doing things. So here's your gal.
And your guys. Well, hello, I'm Alyssa Schneiderman. I am the Programming and Fitness Superintendent for Parks and Recreation in my office at the Frisco Athletic Center. I was here last year, so I recognize some of you, and we talked a little bit about sort of the inclusion that we have going on at Frisco Athletic Center. So at the moment, we don't have anything that's sort of exclusively for a special needs kiddo, but we do have a policy of inclusion. So all of our programs are run, with one exception, which is David, and we'll talk about it in just a moment, but all of our programs are run by contractors. So if you see something in our activities guide, which we left there, that sounds really interesting for your family, for your kid, reach out to somebody at the athletic center and we will kind of put you in contact with that contractor and see if we can't come up with like the right accommodation to make it work. If an accommodation is needed, sometimes it's not necessary. And we have some pretty awesome programs that sort of run the whole gamut of interests, from athletics to STEM, from just fun hang out on a Friday night stuff to swimming and all kinds of stuff like that. So we have our fall activities guide. We give it out seasonally. So, stay tuned. If there's something you don't see in there that you're interested in, definitely let me know or let anybody at the Athletic Center know, and we will work our hardest to find a contractor. That said, one of our biggest hurdles to getting some inclusion programming going at the Frisco Athletic Center is finding the right contractor. So if you have any contacts or anybody who's interested in starting a program, I would be more than happy to be introduced and to speak with them a little about that, because it's a big goal of ours to get some stuff going. So last year, when I was here, I visited with some of you afterwards, and one thing I heard from a number of families was an interest in swim lessons. It's a public safety thing, and it's also just a great thing to do in Texas. So I brought with me today David Seitz. David is our supervisor who looks after our Learn to Swim program. So David's going to tell you a little bit about the program.
Hey guys, we have both group and private lesson options available to anybody. If you have any accommodations that you may need, I'd be more than happy to let you know how to be safe in, on, and around the water. I'm all over the fun guide. Thank you.
We appreciate the opportunity to be here. David has to run. He participates in our program as well as running it, so he's going out to softball. But I'll be around after, so if you have any questions or you'd like to get some information or David's card, I'll have that after. But thank you so much.
Okay, next up we have Yvette Mendez, and she is with the Frisco Public Library. Come on up, Yvette.
Thank you. Hi guys, I'm Yvette Mendez, and I am a Youth Services Librarian over at the Frisco Public Library. I am also the Sensory Programming Lead there, and I want to thank you guys for having me here tonight to talk to you. I was here last year, and I've got to say that my favorite part by far was at the end, where I just got to talk to the parents one-on-one and get feedback from you guys and what you're hoping to see at the library. So after I'm done here, I do invite you guys to stop by and just give a quick hi or ask for any more information from me. I'm happy to see you guys here tonight. I'm hoping to see you guys at the library with your families. Really want you there. You're welcome there. We have a lot of programs, and they're all open to the public. You don't need a library card to do any of our programs. But if you are looking for a library card for your young one, we don't have age restrictions. We just ask that the parent come in and sign them up for that. And some of these programs that we have going on, one is our sensory story times, and that is for ages 8 and under. They can bring their entire family. We offer this twice a session, and they're geared towards children who are on the autism spectrum. We have one coming up, let's see, in November, so we just had one. I do it on a Saturday at 10 a.m., and I chose that time because if you visit then, it's probably going to be the quietest time you're going to get on a Saturday, the least crowded, and that's always good, going to a new place. With these story times, they're a little different in that I do post a visual schedule for them so they can see what's going to happen and when. There's no anxiety about that. They're also free to make noise if they want to move around if they want to. No one's going to be hushed in this story time. I also provide fidgets, and I just do one book, but present it in a lot of different ways, make sure that they're involved and that they're moving around the whole time if that's what they need. Another program we have is coming up next Friday. This is maybe if you have some younger kiddos. It's for 5 and under. And they come with their parent or caregiver, and it's a sensory play date. So you may have seen some of those sensory playthings on Pinterest before. So I invite you guys to come to the library and let us clean up the mess for you. It'd be great.
It's on our Facebook page.
It is? Yay, cool. So check it out there. And yeah, we'll just have all these different stations set up for them to get messy or just get some really hands-on fun. And it's just a way for those little ones to use their senses to explore the world around them. It's a lot of fun. If your kiddo loves dogs, we invite therapy dogs over to the library once a month. They're there for an hour. We set them up in our programming room, and it's open to, let's see, 1st through 5th graders. They can sign up for an individual slot to have just that private time with the dog, or the parent can join. And what they do is they read to the dog, and it's precious. You should stop by just to even observe if you want to do that. And it's a great way for them not just to have that emotional support from the dog, but it's just another way to practice those reading skills in a no judgment and very calm environment. I saw it just this recent Saturday, and you look in there, it's so quiet and cozy and inviting. So if you have a 1st through 5th grader, stop by. I think the next one, let's see, that one is, yeah, we're doing another one actually this month on September 30th. Drop by for that. And it's not just programs we have, we also have a collection. It is a sensory backpack collection, and I brought a backpack in with me, so if you're interested in that, stop by and see me afterwards. These backpacks, they're all-in-one take-home kits that help your children build life skills and address some commonly faced issues like anxiety, calm down, focus, and social skills. In these backpacks, you take them home for 2 weeks. You can have 2 at a time, and we built them with the help of Colleen Kugler and the parent training team, and also that lending library that they've been talking about. We got a lot of resources from there that we put into our backpacks. I'm really excited about these because we are going to be adding new themes, specifically ones that are tied to the Diversability Days. We're going to do some Diversability packs to add to that, so be sure to check out that. So if there is anything that I talked about that sounds interesting, that you want to know more about, I do invite you to come to the library, and also invite you to check out our website. On, I think it's the About Us tab, we have a social story up that we just put recently, and it's a video that you can watch with your young one, and it just kind of walks them through what a visit to the library would be like. What the building looks like, where are elevators, what might you do in story time, what kind of play areas there are, because we just want to lessen that anxiety that somebody might have when you go to a new place for the first time. So I hope to see you guys there, and thank you so much for your time. So if we go, there's Rita Rover. About page, and then down to tours. And here's the, that's the social story. It'll open up a YouTube video, and I did just request to my manager if there's any way to maybe also get a printable version. That way you can print it out at home, they can keep it in their binder, review it, and take it with them to the library.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Jim Wright, and he's going to wear 2 hats tonight. He's going to be telling us about the Frisco Flyers, and he's also going to be talking about Partners Resource Network, where he's the regional coordinator. He's a busy man.
Hello, my name is Jim Wright, and first of all, where's Cindy? She's still in here?
She's out there eating cookies.
Oh, she's out there, okay. Cindy is smarter than I am. I became the treasurer of the Frisco Flyers a couple of years ago because they came up to Cindy and I'll sit next to her and, would you like to be our treasurer, Cindy? Well, I'm so busy, but Jim would love to. So I've been the treasurer for the last 2 years. I have 2 children here in the Frisco ISD. First of all, I want to see, you guys look a little bored here, so I'm going to do a little something here.
Uh-oh.
Okay. We're going to play the phone game, okay? So everybody, ring, ring. Ring, ring. Hello, hello, ring, ring. Raise your hands up high. Okay, anybody that has a phone that looks like that, you're old. Phones look like this. I saw my children playing phone, and they were talking like this. What are you doing? I'm playing phone. No, you play phone like this. What's that? Well, I had to go to the closet, and I pulled out a phone that kind of looks like that, and everybody like, what's that? And so they play phone, and then they put it in their pocket. So, you guys are old. Who here are parents? Okay, show me PDCD. Okay, show me elementary. Okay, middle school. Okay, high school. Yeah, the high school people all know what they're doing. So they don't need to be here, right? My oldest child is in middle school now, and his name's Freddie, and so he started here in Frisco. And so he has been in all these programs that we've been talking about, okay? He's been in the adaptive PE program. He has been, the gentleman that was here, David, he's the one that taught him how to swim. He has been in the life skills program, and he's been very successful. His first evaluation, they talked about this active learning program. And I was like, they're explaining what that is, and I'm like, And so through the work of many, many people that he's talking, thriving, and doing really well thanks to Frisco. And he participates in, is the Miracle League going to talk today? Mm-hmm. Okay, there. So he participates in the Miracle League, and he participates in the Frisco Flyers, and he participates in the Frisco Force, and so we get him out that door, and actually he's at bowling right now for the Frisco Flyers. The Frisco Flyers is the transition from the Special Olympics in the school age area and the transition from the Miracle League. It's a free program for athletes. We do fundraising to keep it that way, and we have several different sports. We have golf, bocce ball, bowling, basketball, swimming, soccer. Anybody help me out? I just pay the bills, I'm the treasurer. Okay? So we're all a total volunteer organization. All of our coaches are volunteer. All of our athletes participate for free, and as long as we have the funds, of course. So we do an annual fundraiser with at the Strikes Bowling Center in February, and we have a bowl-a-thon type of thing. And last year we were able to raise like $15,000, and so we're growing because Frisco is definitely growing, and the area is growing. And we're going to try to do a partnership with the Frisco Force to try to work a partnership together, and just because that's where our athletes come from, and that's where we all came from. So it's something to grow into, and it's something that's a great organization, just like the Miracle League is a great organization. I would say the Miracle League for us was the first time that allowed our 2 children to play. His younger brother is, his name is Franklin, and I guess I just want to say he's not, but he's actually 11 now. And so that was the first time, they didn't know how to play with each other, but they were in the Miracle League, and Freddie is kind of stubborn, and he won't let buddies help him so much, and so he made his brother be his buddy. That's kind of against the rules, but they kind of went the other way, because, you know, we're the crazy people.
Best Buddies is here too, so. Best Buddies is here too.
Oh, yeah, do some Best Buddies too. And Franklin's in the zip shops. And so we've had a great experience here in Frisco because there's so much to do if you choose to go out and do it. And our family has benefited greatly from all of you professionals, all of you providers, all the people that have created all these great programs to participate in. Now I'm going to talk about my PATH, I guess, Partners Resource Network PATH project. It is a nonprofit funded by the Department of Education. So it's a federally funded program, and we serve as Texas's PTI. That's a Parent Training Information Center. In the IDEA law, every state has to have a PTI, and we serve as that PTI in the state of Texas, the PATH project. So this is my little brochure here. And what we do, we offer training and information such as workshops. We're going to have a workshop here coming up. This is my brain. Notice. We're going to have, so next week I'm going to be in Wiley. The week after that I'll be in DeSoto. October 17th I'll be here at the Early Childhood Center at 9 to 11. We're going to do organization of special education paperwork and documentation of your child's thing. All those papers that you get, what do you do with them? How do you organize them? How do you put a story that you have to tell? Because every time you transition from PPCD to elementary to middle school to high school and beyond, you have a whole new group of faces that you have to deal with. And the only constant in your child's life is you. And the way that you can organize this paperwork and documentation is going to be a critical part of the success of your child, because it helps the team understand what your child's been to and where you've gone to. Because as they change, they don't know the backstory of your child. You do. Like, for example, I was in the middle school times, and we had a goal to work on writing, and he finally could write his name, and back in the 4th grade, the OT thought we had OTs, adaptive PT, we've had everything, okay? And she didn't think he'd ever write a letter. And so she taught him how to type, so he could type his name. And then he started writing a letter. So she got so excited that we stopped the typing, worked on the writing, and then we got to middle school, and he kind of mastered his name. So they went to work on other letters and like that. I'm like, okay, how do we do this? Because he's visually impaired, he's legally blind, so it's kind of hard for him. So it's a really hard task. How do we do this? And I'm like, well, he used to type. Why don't we just, if the goal is to learn letters, let's just try typing. He can type? Well, yeah, back in the 4th grade, And so for me being able to bring that up and knowing that past history, and they're like, oh, okay, so they write down these goals and start doing this training, and so they start looking at other things, because I was a participant on that committee of the team of our process. And so that's what I do as a regional coordinator, is that when you guys have questions or you have concerns, you call me, and then I will try to ask you questions and try to help you, talk you through your situation to give you better solutions to your situations. And 90% of it is communication, and 10% maybe persistence. And so I'm excited to work with the parent partner, what do you guys call that?
Mm-hmm.
In-home parent trainers. And full disclosure, Colleen was one of the references for getting this job, so you can blame her. Cindy was the other one, so it's not. I've had a great experience and support from our community, and I say one of the most common questions I have is like, so where's the best place to live? Where is it? I'm like, oh, I haven't found it yet. Where you are is probably the best place, because the thing that is the most successful is the more that you invest in your child, the more you participate into your community and communicate with your teachers and your administrators, the more relationships that you build, the more successful that your family and your child will be, wherever that is. So wherever you're comfortable living is where you can make the situation the best. And so if I do find it, hey, I might move there, but it's what you make of it. It really is. And Frisco, I think, has gone through tremendous growth, tremendous change, and I think a lot of it's been great. It's been, when they hear great ideas, they jump on it. Like when they had the transition, was it 2 years ago, that you got a phone call to say, would you like to partner with us as a transition to employment type of job? And they were all over it, and they made it happen. And that's that's what you want to look for. You want to look for people that they're trying things. They're actually trying, and that's the best thing that you can have is an education partner like that from a parent's perspective. So I have more brochures out there. There's a list there if you want to get on our email list. Everything that we do, everything we provide is free. There's no charge to you, and I encourage you. I'm one person. The more that you guys communicate with each other and talk to each other, the more successful you're going to be. One last thing is, how many are just professionals, providers we have in here? Okay, raise your hands high. I'm not going to embarrass you. Okay. Parents, please clap for these people. It is so great joy to see parents and educators in the same trainings, because that you know that they are truly invested in your lives and in your children's lives. And that's the best compliment I can possibly give. So thank you.
Okay, next up we have Paula Willard, and she is here to talk to us about Miracle League.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Paula Willard, and I'm the recruiting coordinator for the Miracle League of Frisco. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Miracle League, we're organized sports for children with disabilities ages 5 to 19. And it's all types of disabilities, whether it be cognitive, intellectual, or physical disabilities. One question I get very commonly, a lot of people are afraid to sign their child up for Miracle League because they feel like perhaps their child is not ready or that they're too low functioning. And my comment is always, if your child is breathing, they can be a part of the Miracle League. They can be inclusive. We'll work with them. I actually see a couple of my parents back there. I actually coach one of the baseball teams. And we have baseball, basketball, football, track and field, bowling, and we just added cheerleading. And it is $40 per sport, and we're playing sports year-round. Some of them are actually simultaneously. And at the end of every season, which each sport season lasts about 4 to 6 weeks, all the kids, it's $40, and that includes their jersey and a medal at the end of the season. See, there's other things I want to talk about.
Turkey chop.
Huh?
Turkey chop.
Thank you. So we have a turkey trot every year on Thanksgiving Day in downtown Frisco, and it is our largest fundraiser, and it's a lot of fun, guys. I mean, we're growing like leaps and bounds. I think last year they had like, I want to say 10,000 people came out, so it's huge. But I'm not going to keep talking about this over and over, but I do have brochures that I have out there on the table, and I'm going to wait here after we finish if you have questions for me. And the way you sign up is actually on the website, and in our brochure is actually the web address. And so what we're going to do is just show a little video here that gives you a visual of what Miracle League is. So again, if you have any questions, I'll be here, and you're welcome to come by and talk to me. So thank you.
There was sound when we tried it.
Yeah, it should be still. Is the volume turned up on the computer?
Oh, well.
Well, you can always go out to YouTube and find it.
Yeah, or we can put the link on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
But the pictures are good to see. Very well with that awkward silence. Great pictures though, it's a great program. Okay, next up we have Best Buddies, and we have Caitlin and Grace that came to see us. Where are you guys? There you are. You've been very patient this whole time, thank you. Hi, my name is Grace Fuller, and I am a program manager for the School Friendship Programs and Best Buddies. I work specifically with our area chapters, so Frisco and Plano.
I'm Caitlin Mellis. I'm the program supervisor for the new jobs program for Dallas and Texas.
So just to start off, do we want to pull up the section? Just to give everyone a little bit of background on Best Buddies, I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with our organization or not, but we were started in 1989 by Anthony Kennedy Shriver, and if you know who that is, he is the nephew of JFK, and his mom is Eunice Kennedy Shriver, who started the Special Olympics. So we kind of all run in the same family, which is awesome. A lot of our participants are members of the Special Olympics groups in the community, so they all kind of merge, which is awesome to see. But we focus on our mission is to end the isolation, I cannot speak today, of the social, economic, and physical isolation of the 200 million people worldwide with IDD, which is intellectual and developmental disabilities. We are an international organization, so we are in all 50 states. We are also international, so we're in 54 countries, which is pretty awesome. We're pretty widespread.
Standing.
And this is just sort of a map. I won't go through in detail of everything, but just to sort of give you guys an idea of how widespread we are. And if you can read the colors.
So yellow is our friendship program. Again, friendship is in the school system. So that's elementary all the way up to high school. And we have the jobs program, which is this lighter blue. And then the orange is the leadership program. We'll talk a little bit more about that. The other color, the purple, is just expansion. So we're constantly growing. So we're expanding the friendship programs into those states.
So Friendship, like I said, I'm a program manager for the Friendship program. And if you know anything about Best Buddies, this is probably the program that you're most familiar with. We work out of schools.
So we will go into a campus, middle school, high school, and college campuses is what we work with. We will go in and sort of establish a need and a desire from the administration and those students for Best Buddies. We'll go in and basically how it works is we'll take interested general education students as well as the special education students, and we will form a chapter. It's student-led, so we'll have an officer corps, so a president, a vice president, secretary, treasurer, stuff like that. We really emphasize that it's student-led. We love for the students to just take it and run with it. I love getting to watch all my Frisco students. They're so passionate. They blow me away every day. But they will be matched up in a one-to-one friendship. So a buddy is how we